Stop it. We're not saying that on camera.
Emily and I flew into LA to go visit her friends for a wedding. And I met this person who we're about to see 2 weeks ago at Driving Lanes Driver Battles. Yeah. And he told me via DM, hey Mike, I got one of my dream cars in. And I told Emily, hey Emily, I'm so sorry, but when we're in town for the wedding, we need to swing by Van Nuys, and we need to go see Rob, and we need to go see what he's doing over here at Grid Partners, and we need to go talk to him about his dream car.
It's perfect timing, and this space is so beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
It's so cool.
So without further ado, I'm going to turn you guys around, and you'll see why we flew to Van Nuys. Check out Rob's collection and that little red thing behind it. Cue the ethereal music. Look at that. There's a wagon, there's an E92, E90 next to it, right? Two E30 M3s, an E30 M3, E30, does a 325?
It was a 318.
318.
But it's a track car now.
Track car, so who knows what's in there?
S54.
S54, okay, there we go. There's another E30 back there, looks like. Another one back there that's gonna get restored. And then there's a E46 and then another E92, right? And then another E30. So, needless to say, Rob knows his stuff. So let's just kick it off to you. What is Grid Partners and what are you doing here?
What I'm doing here is I just have a space to store all my stuff. I'm a total hoarder. And as you walk around, you'll see, I just collect parts and cars and things that I think I'll need in the future, or things that I think I'll never be able to get a hold of when they come up. But then last year, after a few friends asked to come over and try on different seats before they bought seats for their cars, I had the idea of, since I've got this space to open some accounts with some seat manufacturers and just bring in some seats. Anytime a friend needed a seat, they could come try them out and go home with it. And as I thought of that idea, it occurred to me how frustrating it's been over the years to figure out what the right seats are,
right?
What bases and side mounts and everything goes together, because there's no source of information for that stuff.
Isn't that wild? You can't just go sit in a seat. You have to buy it online without even knowing if you're too fat.
Thousands of dollars.
Right. It's like total light bulb, Why doesn't this exist?
Yeah.
We're in Los Angeles, where there's the most amount of people that want to, that have cars. The car culture is huge. They want to try the track.
Right.
And there's nowhere really for them to go get education about what to use or sit in it before they buy it. So that was, really kind of like a light bulb for me. There's a whole market here that's totally being underserved. I've got the resources to put something together that could help the people that are my friends.
Right.
And so I just was let's do it. The safety aspect is really important to me. I had a good friend pass last year in an accident, who I drove his car that morning and was thinking to myself, he had bucket seats with the stock belts that were not routed the right way. And as I was driving, I was like, man, this is dangerous, and sure enough, it was horrible, and it really affected me. But it's important, and it's not difficult to get the right products, and there's just not enough knowledge about that, right? And so growing up, I watched racing, I watched Group B, I watched WRC. I wished I could be out there driving those cars, super touring cars, where you have a street car that's literally turned into a race car, but it's the same street car,
He's ahead of him and he's going into the lead, but Miller is attacking, and Winkelhock takes the lead. Magnificent.
We look every day on Marketplace for those type of cars.
And so that's, now I got to a place in life where I could do that. I could get a car that I wanted, and I could make it into like a track capable car and go and just enjoy that experience.
Right. If anybody needs anything safety wise, education wise, or to test something out, or even just talk shop, Grid Partners is waiting.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be a really special thing because it's a business.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing it as like most businesses open with profitability in mind, right? And so for this, it's more about creating a hub for us, including myself, to be able to go and get that information, figure out what works with what, figure out what is best for each person's individual needs. And also being right here centrally located in LA, it's really exciting. I mean, I'm super excited. Awesome. It doesn't feel like work.
We're excited for you, and so that's why we came. But right now, all those things aren't really quite set up, but they will be this weekend actually.
Yeah, it's in process.
Work in progress.
Yeah.
So there's a nice little red number behind him that we're gonna do a little bit of a deeper dive. Now we can do a deeper dive on literally any one of these cars behind Rob. They all have a fantastic story. You could buy basically any legendary car, but you bought a Kazi. So what's the deal with this thing right here?
So when I was a teenager in the early 90s, I found out about rally racing somehow. Honestly, I can't remember how I found out about it, but I got so enamored by it. The idea of taking a car, these drivers that have to drive the same car in all of these different conditions, tarmac, gravel, snow, mud. It was just like the ultimate form of motorsport and the ultimate, drivers in my eye. And so there was a store in Burbank that sold just like unique magazines, books, literature, and videos about motorsport. And it was walking distance from my house. So literally I would mow the lawns, collect enough money, and I would walk down there and I'd buy a magazine from the UK. I'd buy, a Betamax of WRC, and I'd stay up at night. I had to buy a special video player so I could actually watch it because it wasn't VHS, but I was obsessed. Yeah. And I was a freak because any other kid that I was in school with who was into cars was into muscle cars.
Yeah. Tell you what Melvin Toast is packing right here. I've got 411 posi track out back, 750 double pumper, Edelbrock intakes, board over 30, 11-to-1 pop-up pistons, turbojet, 390 horsepower. We're talking some fucking muscle.
That sort of thing. Nobody even knew what rally racing was.
Right.
But I was so into it that I worked in high school and saved up all my money. And so as soon as I graduated, I bought a plane ticket and went to Europe and attended a rally racing school called ProDrive. Mind-blowing. They taught me all of this great stuff about car control and driving on the track and driving in the dirt, and it was just a fantastic experience. I'm so glad that I did it. But while I was there in the UK, I had gone back to London after I did the rally racing school, and I saw a flyer pasted on a wall for an auto show, and it was like an auto show indoors, kind of like a big auto show. And so I went. It was in the following weekend or something. Yeah. So I stuck around for that, and then I went, and that show was amazing because there was all these cars that we didn't get in the US, and there's all these sorts of special homologation cars and racing cars. And I sat in this car, an Escort Cosworth, and I was just man, this is it. I was mind blown. And so a buddy of mine got one of these about a year and a half ago, and I was like, oh my God, dude, that's one of my actual dream cars. I want to drive it. He ended up going through some stuff, and I haven't seen him, never got to drive it. And as I'm trying to put this Grid Partners business together, I don't really sell cars too often, but I'm I have no space. I have to sell a couple cars to, make some space and clear up some cash to do this. And so I put one of my E36 M3s that I've had for many years, and I did a full, refurbishment on it for sale. Somebody reached out to me, and it was the owner of this car, and he said, hey, I've always wanted one of these. I've never had one. It's one of those things. We started talking, and just so many times. Like we have so much in common, and he's just like me. Like he wants to have that experience, and he was like, I want to buy it, but any chance you're open to a trade? And I was like, nah, you know, I'm trying not to get any more cars in right now. I'm really trying to make space. And then he sent me a picture of this, and I was like, yes, what? You have an Escort Cosworth? Like what? Like, yes, I don't even care what the details. I don't even care if it runs. Like
We're trading.
yeah, we'll trade. Now this car is worth a lot more than an E36. I ended up trading him 2 cars.
Wow.
So kind of achieved that space, you know.
Yeah.
2 in, 2 out, 1 in. But
Well, it's not like you have a shortage of BMWs in here.
yeah, you know, and I've got enough, right? And so just totally fell into my lap. I wasn't looking for it. I didn't even think that that these were available to buy in the U.S. I figured you'd have to import it, which I've imported cars before, and it's a total pain in the butt. Not something I want to do. But it totally worked out. We traded. Literally happened like in the span of a few days or a week. Yeah. So it's also kind of a special example because it's an early model, which the first 2 years that they made these in production, they used a bigger turbo. After that, they changed to a smaller turbo for like a little less lag and a little more street ability. They made the same stock power, but with the bigger turbo, you can get a lot more power easily.
Yep.
But most of the cars are right-hand drive, you know, for those markets. This car came from Spain, so it's left-hand drive, which I like driving right-hand drive cars, but it's a pain in the butt if you're trying to drive it to do anything other than just, you know, drive it.
Oh, we know.
In the canyons. Yeah, you know that's right. I'm not telling you anything you don't already have experience with. But I also like really have a thing against sunroofs. Not only because, you know, of like the added weight to the highest center of gravity, but on old cars it's just a total fail point. I've had so many old BMWs that the sunroof breaks or leaks. I just don't like them. The fact that this car didn't have a sunroof was like even better for me. And it's got this totally 90s Recaro interior with the hexagon seats, and this thing is just so period to me. It's exactly what I would have wanted
Down to the steering wheel.
when I was 17 or 15. Yeah.
What's that do, Rob?
That turns on secondary fans.
Oh, got it.
Electric
Okay,
fans.
it's not the go baby go switch.
No, but there's 2 switches down there next to the gauges.
Oh, ALS and LC, launch control and
Anti-lag.
anti-lag. Wow, are you gonna start it up for us?
I'll start it up for you.
Heck
Sure.
yeah, let's start. Yeah, you don't need to hit anti-lag and ruin the pain of that,
we're
but
not
yeah,
gonna do the anti-lag. But it has anti-lag.
Wow.
And I had to test it. Rally car
Yeah, of
with
course.
anti-lag, and it's just, I'm telling you, man, like I just laugh like hysterically when I'm driving this
Wow.
thing because it's everything that I.
what wheels are on it?
So these are period correct, comp motive. This is a really unique bolt pattern and offset.
Yeah.
It's 4x108 and offset. They like offset like around single digits. So even though it's a period correct wheel, it's not my style.
Yeah.
I'm gonna change them, but finding wheels is not like, you know, finding wheels for a BMW. So
Those Ford PCDs, man, they're always got to be different.
I'm probably gonna end up having some wheels made because there just really aren't that many options.
Yeah, they look great on this color though. This color combo looks amazing.
Yeah, it
so
does.
I mean,
It
like
does.
even if you don't make wheels, it still looks fantastic.
It's good. I'm all up. Like I mod everything.
Yeah, of course.
Nothing. I like to personalize things, but also like I think I'm making cars better.
Yeah.
Sometimes I mod them too much and I make them worse, but it's my thing.
Let's see under the hood.
This come with it?
Oh yeah,
This is really cool.
it's a factory wing, and this is
Oh, it's a factory wheel?
yeah.
Wow.
This part of what I thought was so cool about the car initially is that, this is for aerodynamics, and they made this car as an homologation car so they could make the rally cars off of this car. And so these fender flares, the ducting, the wing, it's so cool to me, and it's so radical.
Yeah.
But when I look at this car from like the rear quarter angle, it looks just like a full-size Hot Wheel.
Doesn't
It
it?
literally just looks like a
Same
toy.
color too, bright red.
This is a new turbo, but it's a factory turbo. But they've done some like custom exhaust, custom charge pipe and stuff. That doesn't necessarily suit my taste, so I'm gonna end up going through everything and changing things to match what I want it to be. But that being said, it's a riot just the way that it is.
Yeah. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Make sure you check out Grid Partners. They're your one-stop shop for all this stuff. Congrats, Rob, on getting the car of your dreams.
Oh man.
It's going to be the car.
Yeah, for sure.
the forever car.
I'm floating, man.
Yeah, and it's left-hand drive. And we'll see you guys on the next one. And if you like this type of content, make sure you drop a comment. Say what up to Rob in the comments. Go follow Grid Partners on Instagram. Give Rob a shout out. And if you're in the area, come and stop by. This guy will steer you in the right direction. He's a pretty cool dude, and I'm glad you spent some time with us today, Rob.
Right on.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate it.